over. Too many of us. Too many eyeballs, too many cameras. I feel like it's not as, like, icy cold today as it was yesterday.
We remember it said that it was going to maybe be clear either today or tomorrow.
Yeah. But it's going back down.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be nice, maybe-ish, for a couple of days, and then it's going to go back into the 30s. At least that's what it said yesterday. Morning, Paul. Good morning.
Not the 30s, like the 50s.
Mine said that the low was going to be like 38, 39 on next Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. The 10-day is what I was talking
That's what
about.
I'm looking at, too. I don't see no 30.
Well, maybe they readjust.
Recalculate a lot.
They adjusted it. Reminds me of a hat TJ used to wear a lot. I don't know. I bought this hat off of Amazon when I first moved to Bellevue. When I first kind of like joined the peasants in the studio, I bought myself this hat because I needed something to put all my little pins on. And I've had it since then. It's pretty raggedy, but I like it. I like it because of its raggedy. As a musician, I got to try and put you on to, or at least, okay, well, let me know who they are, and I'll take a little listen if I remember. You are from Napoli. I buono di Napoli. He was a hat thief. Oh yeah, TJ used to steal this right off my head all the time when we lived together and just put it on. So you might have actually seen TJ in this hat. I got him back too, though. I used to steal his beanies and put them on. That's one thing about TJ is you either adopt it or you're just going to be fighting against it the whole time. If you live with TJ, hats are community property.
Yeah, the only defense with my head was so small that none of them fit him.
I'll see. I can't do that because I got a big, giant Irish jug head. Just like him. So, straight on the head it goes. One of my favorite pins I own is a flame with everything is fine on it. Yeah, there's another pin on here that I forgot. Because I don't notice it as much. It's over there. It's my Hell Admit 1 pin. Admit 1 to hell, and then my salty pin and my Peelander pink.
Did you get dinner or breakfast yet or no?
I did. He is breckied. Democrats Make Me Want to Vomit by David Rovics. Okay. I'll remember that. TJ's collectivizing the ownership of cranial accessories, yeah. Oh, shit. You mean I could work with LeBron? Do people actually fall for that shit? I wonder, dude. We're partnering with small creators. Oil up. Tell your mom to bend over. I can't oil up while she's still in that little sundress. Aye. Allo. What am I on? My bullshit. I'm back on my bullshit. PDF file for sure. Methinks the lady doth protest too much. Get thee to a nunnery, sir. I wonder if anybody's going to tell these people that when you run around the internet just calling people PDF files, that it makes you look like the pedo. I wonder if anybody's going to tell them. I wonder. Let the girls out of your basement. But your mom and sisters asked to be in my basement. They begged for it, actually, to be kept like little pets. People try hella hard, bro. People try hella hard. They don't realize I'm not the one, though. Like, they don't realize I'm not the one. Like, I've been doing this way longer. Longer than most of you have even been alive. So, you know what I mean? Why do you love Palestine so much? I don't. I think it's a shithole. I think the people, particularly the children, deserve a chance. But I think Palestine's a shithole. I don't love it. How do they expect you to react? Yeah. I don't know. Do you think Netanyahu is evil? I don't believe in evil. I don't believe in evil any more than I believe in absolute good. You know what I mean? It seems to me that human beings are shades of gray. That being said, I think Netanyahu's a piece of fucking human shit. How's that? The Zooties? What's a Zooties? Why don't you kids just call the drug what it is? What's a Zooties? Speed? Bro. It's like the opposite of my drugs of choice here. Cocaine or speed. Yeah. You guys don't know me very well. Here's my drug of choice. This is the one. I was kidding, bro. Oh. Damn. Typically, like, that's another thing that's changed. Back in the day, like, when somebody was kidding, it used to be kind of funny. Like, they were doing something kind of fun or funny. The lingo just keeps changing. The lingo just keeps changing. That was a burn. I know. Captain Sick burn, bro. I just like I honestly I don't even like doing it to people. Like I'm never the one that starts it. People will just come in here apropos of nothing and tell me to oil up. It's like you don't know me, homie. I'll pin you down and oil you up. Like how just a prank equals being a dick, yeah. Or I was just joking is I'm a fucking total asshole, etc., etc., etc. Don't threaten me with a good time. Right. That's what I'm saying. I feel the same way. Hi, foreigner. Hi. Yesterday was such a good conversation. Today the Neanderthals are showing up. The day is young. The day is young. Let me see a head kick. What the fuck is a head kick? You should get a nice haircut. I don't want it though, but thanks. Is this the Dapper Dan doll hour? Dress me up. Bleach my hair, mess it up, take my life, dress it up, signed a deal, I got paper cuts. I think that may be the only good song that Machine Gun Kelly ever released.
Machine Gun Kelly. Who am I thinking of that he's married to?
I don't think he's married to anybody, but I think he's dated some popular people. What's your favorite dinosaur? Ooh. You know, I've always been partial to them ocean dinosaurs. Plesiosaurus or Pliosaur or whatever they're called. It's big, long necks, big fins and stuff. Those would be terrifying. And then like the Mosasaurus, just like a big alligator fish thing, just giant. I like the water dinosaurs quite a bit because nobody ever talks about those. Very, very like rarely do you hear people like getting all geeked up about water dinosaurs, but there was some crazy shit down there, bro.
It was Megan Fox that he was with for a few years. That's what I was thinking.
That sounds right.
He never married her. But he was with her for a hot minute.
Yep. Smoke a blunt, fake sick, got drunk, had a kid. Kill Shot was 6 years ago. Jesus. Dude, I can remember sitting on the couch listening to Kill Shot with Scotty and TJ all the way back in Louisiana. We just like, we went through it line by line and laughed our asses off at almost every line. MGK's cringe rap for 14-year-old white boys. That's why I don't like his rap. The song that I'm singing is when he was like, hey, I'm going to do an alt rock song that sounds like it's from 1996. I wish he would have just leaned into that and made a whole album of that. I would have been happy with that. Yeah, because I can't deal with his rap. His rap sucks. But I really liked Paper Cuts. It just sounded like it kind of rips off the Pixies a little bit, but it just sounds like that, that era. Don't think MGK makes his music for you. Who does he make it for then? You think MGK cares who buys a CD or who pays for a fucking download or something? People are weird. Right. That's all he does is pop punk now, right? No, I think he still raps. I think he, kind of delved into that. Maybe I'm wrong, though. That one song is, like, I heard that one song, and I didn't even know it was MGK. Because I was just like, oh, cool, who's this band? Oh, it's MGK. I'm like, uh-oh. Paper Cuts was okay. Dude, Paper Cuts has a fucking dope ass video too. It's another thing that like I think sucked me into it. It's got like a pretty cool video. Do you read any reports regarding the war in Gaza? I just keep up with the news, like, you know, one would expect. A smart bong? Nah, dude, that sounds fucking horrifying. No, thank you. I like doing it the old caveman way, but just like you roll it up and smoke it, you know. But thanks. Enjoy your robo bong. Kitty, kitty, oh so pretty. Kitty, kitty, oh so pretty. Please consume your marijuana now. Dude, I changed my Siri because I was sick of hearing the same Siri. And I was digging around on my phone. And I was like, oh, you could change Siri's voice around? So now I've got AAVE Siri. Siri sounds like a black lady Siri. I'm enjoying that. She's got a little bit of sass to her. I didn't know you could do it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it hood Siri. But yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't release all that. Do you know who Loner Box is? Only incidentally through Destiny, I think. I don't really care to talk IP. I'm not looking to be an IP expert. I'm really not. I'll be honest with you, and this is true about the Ukraine war as well, the Ukraine invasion. The politics involved and the material interests involved don't matter a fucking lick to me. I don't care. I don't care whose land it is historically. I don't care how far it goes back. I care that people have the opportunity, especially children who suffer the worst in war, have the opportunity to grow up. That's my concern. That's my concern. I am not looking to be the world's most foremost expert on the history of the Palestine region, right? I don't care. What has happened in the past does not change the fact that I think that every child living in Palestine and every human being living in Palestine should have the right to come up, to grow old, to have a life. I think that's worth more than the historical precedent. I think that's worth more than the geopolitical outcomes. I think that's worth more than the economic implication. I'm a humanist. What do you talk about it so much if you don't care about educating yourself? I talk about it because I do care about the outcomes. I care about people dying needlessly, endlessly, cyclically in war. This is not the first time that Gaza has been bombed to gravel in my lifetime. Okay? The audience speaks about it, and Paul responds, yeah, I didn't bring up IP today. You did. Why do you talk about it so much? Yeah, I didn't bring it up. You did, if memory serves. So you can't put that shit on me. You can't be like, hey, what do you think about IP? And then fucking 3 posts later, you're saying, why do you talk about IP so much? I don't. You do. You don't get to continue digging in. I just told you how I feel about IP. You can talk about my perspective. I give 2 fucks about the history of the conflict. I give 2 fucks about the politics of the conflict. I give 2 fucks about the economics of the conflict or the geopolitical implications of the conflict. I care about the people who are dying needlessly, pointlessly. I care about the children who will never have a chance to grow up as a result of all of the other things I just said I don't give a fuck about. History, religion, politics, economics, geopolitics. Those things only matter if human life is preserved to the greatest extent. We can start talking about those things when people aren't being slaughtered. How's that? Now, you want to keep talking? Talk about that. Debate bro trash vibes from chili dogs. Yeah. I mean, that kind of shit happens. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of people are out there emulating the debate bros. Do I believe in Bigfoot? Son, I am Bigfoot. I think the future matters more than the past. I think that human life matters more than politics and religion combined. I think that borders are less important than human life. I think that pretty much everything is subservient to that when it comes to my politics. Human beings, by and large, as an aggregate on this planet, are treated like fucking trash by those in power. Absolute, disposable garbage. And as long as that's going on, that's what I care about. You want me to care about the economy? Stabilize it. Stop the slaughter. And then we can start talking about how we trade with one another and centering that in our lives. Stop the death. And then we can move on to the next thing. So you don't care about the history, yet you've taken a very strong stance on the pro-Palestine side. Okay, so are you like not paying attention to the ongoing back and forth we're having? Do I need to remind you? You asked how I feel about Palestine, and I told you I think it's a shithole. I don't give a fuck about the nation identity that is Palestine. I give a fuck about the children and the innocent people that are living there. It's like, do you listen when you talk? This is another symptom of debate broism. They have a script and they're going to get through the script. They don't really care what your response is because they're going to plow forward with their script. And then they're going to tell you what you believe at the end of it. Very debate bro. Very. You definitely came off that way in your talk to Destiny when you used the meme map as your argument. You mean the map that shows the expansion of the borders of Israel? You mean that map? What's meme map about that? I see Bigfoot sitting on that bench behind you. What? There's not a bench. It's my porch. It's like the railing on my porch. You want me to explain it? Only if you'll get in Discord with me. I don't want to have to read your fucking, like, rushed ass, slavering at the mouth, fucking debate bro typing shit. You can get in a room with me and you can talk to me about it. We'll get in a Discord call. How about that? And we can talk about it. You cool with that? But I'm warning you, dude, if you're just reading from a script, I'm going to hang up on you. You want to talk to me about my positions? You're going to engage with my positions. You're not going to just read your script on why Israel has every right to fucking do cyclical genocides in the Gaza Strip. Yeah, we're not going to listen to that. You want to talk to me about IP? I've told you what my opinion on IP is, and I've told you where I stand on it. And you can engage with that, or it's really not that interesting, right? And you can do it in voice chat as well. That's my offer. And I don't have all morning. I've got about an hour that I can sit and do this. I'm not looking to talk to you in chat anymore, bro. I've made my offer to you. It's a thumbs up or it's a thumbs down because I don't have much time. So I'm going to put you on the clock. I'm going to give you 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You keep going, you're banned. Time wasters. See what I mean? Abject time wasters. Man, even when I'm not even sitting here, people are people are too stupid. It's like, fuck. I'm not even here for you to attempt to troll me and you're getting banned. It's like, how is that happening? How did that work? I did enjoy your talks with Destiny. I enjoyed them too, honestly. Like, for what it's worth, you know. I definitely, as a kind of an empathic person, could feel his disdain for me, but I still found the talks interesting. You know what I mean? I've been aware of Destiny for a long time, so I liked talking to the dude. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind doing it more, but it seems like he doesn't really hang out in Discord and let that select group of people kind of pop in and out anymore. So, like, I still have the perms in his Discord. He's never in his room, you know. And I understand, like, he's going through legal shit, and he's probably like afraid people are gonna try and troll him on that or bring it up in a way that he can't talk about it or whatever. But I'm genuinely not interested in talking to him about that shit. Like, those sorts of things. Like, I'm a very innocent until proven guilty type of guy, and I'm also a very, like, there's a reason there's a justice system, right? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not part of that. I'm not sitting on any jury, you know what I mean, that would involve his case or anything. It's like, but I also don't really, I don't care, I think, as much as the wider culture cares about, like, the salacious personal details of people's lives. I, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I haven't indulged in, like, documentaries or docu-series about just that, drama shit that happened between celebrities or whatever. But, like, it's just not something, it's not the most interesting thing. Like, I don't think I would have all that interesting a conversation with Destiny about it. If I were to talk to Destiny again, I'd probably talk Trump, Elon, Democratic response to such, you know, and wherever else, Ukraine, maybe, something. I'm not, dude, you can go look it up. You can go look it up. Like, I'm not gonna even, because I just got done telling you that I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna waste my time, like, recounting, and I wouldn't be the best person anyway. I don't pay attention to it. I'm not constantly combing through every little thing that comes out about it, so I'm not even up to date. I don't care. Your conversations on YouTube, well, I mean, they're on YouTube, but we used Discord to connect, right? So he streaming, I pop into his stream, we talk, right? And then that becomes a YouTube video. You can go look, just go search Destiny Paul's Ego, and you'll find our little interactions. Still watch Kino? Less. Just kind of like less and less since they've been doing, like, they've been really heavy leaning into this dark side Phil shit, and it's just like, I don't care. I don't know. How do you keep your ego in check when you suddenly get big or semi-successful? Your ego? Why do you need to keep your ego in check? I mean, yeah, I mean, you don't want to be like somebody that's like full of themselves, but like owning your own accomplishments is not having an out of control ego. Knowing where you stand and being confident about where you are and what you've done. That's not having an out of control ego. You know what I mean? So as long as you're not treating people like piss ants or like, you know what I mean? Like just dehumanizing people because you think you're better than them. You know, own your ego. It's there for a reason. You should feel good about yourself if you're successful. You should feel good about yourself if you get recognition for something, right? It's not out of control ego to think about that. Is TJ's ego in private as big as it is in public? Yes and no. You know, it's kind of funny. It's just something I've been thinking about lately because I told you guys I've been doing physical therapy. My therapist is like kind of interested in what I do for a living, and it's one of those things I don't like talking to people about that don't know what I do, because I don't want them to go watch the show and think that the dude that I am in my normal life is an act. Like I'm just pretending to be a nice, kind of quiet, unassuming, polite dude. You know what I mean? And then they go watch me on the internet and I'm like, fucking, you know, just like I'm a goblin. You know what I mean? And it's, that can be, that's kind of, I mean, it's a weird part of my job, right? It's also kind of one of the reasons why I do these. I mean, you know, for better or for worse, you get a better peek into how I am in my average everyday life watching these. You know, I'm not real performance aware here. I'm not saying that I don't do, you know, sometimes that shit comes out, but like as far as my demeanor, how I you know, my tone of voice and all of that stuff, you get a better glimpse of it here than you do in my other content, for sure. But it's always just a weird kind of ping pong game for me when I meet somebody, and because everybody's always interested when you tell them what you do for a living. But I'm always just like, oh man, they're gonna go watch it, and they're gonna think I'm a fucking schizophrenic or something. They're gonna think I'm a weirdo. You're telling me you don't regularly douse yourself in Mountain Dew? Yeah, I'm not like constantly stripping my shirt off and talking in a caveman voice, yelling at people. Yeah, no, you know what I mean? Like, just every once in a while. Why are folk vandalizing Teslas? Because Elon Musk. I really think it's to bully Elon Musk. That's the most direct answer to it. Elon Musk forgot somewhere along the line, as those billions racked up, he forgot he's a fucking dork. And, you know, he's got security and shit, so you can't give him a wedgie. You can't trash can him. You can't give him a swirly. So you rub duty on his fucking Teslas. You know what I mean? It literally is just bullying Elon Musk. Elon Musk is getting the bullying that his rich, posh, nepo baby ass should have got coming up. That's it. Were the Democrats the first to buy those cars? Life's fucking weird, isn't it? Dude, you go back like a decade, Elon was a Democrat. He was all fucking, dude, he was married to Grimes. Like, Elon used to be pretty, you know, standard centrist lefty Democrat. Yeah. All about the green environmental thing and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It just goes to show you, like, that's the grift that made him money then. The grift that makes him money now is being an arch Trumpist. He didn't betray anybody. You betrayed you if you put your faith in Elon Musk. You betrayed you. I don't care. care for Elon, but I do like my Tesla. I've never driven one, but for the people that I know that have, they're nice cars. You know, maybe with the exception of the Cybertruck, right? Which I've seen so many examples of that thing just falling apart, shoddy craftsmanship, and just like shit that's just glued on. It's like fucking shameful. But, you know, their main line of Teslas, you know, they seem to be pretty decent little cars, you know? That's why I'm saying it ain't because Teslas suck. It's to bully Elon. That's why they're doing it. They're just bullying Elon. But what does a Tesla or their owners have to do with Elon himself? Well, you understand that when people are vandalizing Teslas and it's kind of become like uncool to drive a Tesla, right? That Elon loses money. You know, Tesla's fucking stock price is in free fall, or has been, right? Nobody wants one anymore. A Tesla's up 10%. Well, there you go. Buy the dip. I told people buy the dip. Told TJ buy that dip. Swastikars. Yeah, see, people just don't want one of them things, dude. You don't think it hurts Elon? You don't think Elon going on all the news shows and sniveling about how he's under attack and Trump like white knighting for Elon, you don't think that hurts? Elon doesn't want to go on TV and snivel. He doesn't want to have to beg Trump to like pretend he's buying a Tesla so that people will leave him alone. It's hurting him. Nobody wants to go and have like have Trump shill for them. You know what I mean? In the most pathetic way. Like, I love a Tesla. Teslas are great. I'm gonna buy one even though I can't drive anything. It's like, man, that's kind of fucking sad, bro. You've noticed Elon's like using his little human shield too. Dude, we never seen any of Elon's kids back in the day. But now that he's, you know, a hot topic of criticism of his own design, he's placed himself at the head of government, placed himself in the halls of power, and he's monkeying with shit. So it's on him. But now his little human shield is with him all the time. He thinks that's going to deflect critique. They're not going to say mean things about him if he's got his little human shield. Dude, if there ever is an assassination attempt on Musk, how much do you want to bet it's going to be a fucking, what is that fucking Stephen King movie? Where at the end of it, there's an assassination and the presidential candidate grabs a kid and holds them up as a human shield. I swear to, dude, what do you think the chances are? You guys remember that movie? What fucking movie was that? The Dead Zone. The Dead Zone. The end of that movie, there's like a presidential candidate that is like a Trumpian fascist. And this guy sees the future and he tries to stop him and he tries to assassinate him. And the dude grabs a child that's near him and holds the kid up. 100%, dude. Dude, if there's ever a fucking attempt on Elon and he's got his little human shield, you know he's going to pick it up. Yeah, maybe Elon should have stuck to being the CEO of his car company and his digging company and his space company and not wanted to be the world's most fucking unself-aware autistic rock star. Maybe he just should have kept being, a guy that owns 3 pretty fucking successful company, well, more than 3. Maybe he should have just been a billionaire. But this is what I'm talking about. This is why it has to be curbed, because it's not enough. You would think, like sitting where you are right now, you would think, dude, if I had $1 billion, fuck, what else would I need? Buy a piece of land, I'd live however I want, make you travel the world, whatever, you know what I mean? But when these Nepo babies, these generational wealth kids, get that wealth, it's not enough. They want more. They need more. The power that wealth gives them isn't enough. They need more power. Yeah. You would have been way better off just sticking to being the dumpy, autistic Tony Stark from Temu, right? Let's be real. Am I wrong? Dude, he'd be way better off. His car company would probably be flourishing, you know? He wouldn't be the object of scorn and derision. At least not anywhere near to the extent he is now. You know what I mean? Would he have still bought Twitter? See, no. See, that was him buying Twitter. You guys know why Elon Musk bought Twitter? Do you like? I know you might give me an answer. Don't give me the business answer. Give me the real answer. Why did Elon Musk buy Twitter? He was forced to it. Why did Elon Musk purchase Twitter? What do you think? Why did Elon Musk purchase Twitter? Not the business. Don't give me business. Give me the personal. Why did he buy Twitter?
Because he was butthurt about people making fun of him.
And he wanted to be the mod.
Yeah.
He wanted to have mods on Twitter.
He didn't like his friends being censored.
He wanted to be the sysop on Twitter. He wanted to be able to point at anybody on Twitter and kick them off Twitter. And that's why he bought it.
Or to take one of his racist friends and put them back on Twitter.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like, that's the mods. Yeah. That's why I say it's not just he was butthurt. Yeah. He wanted mods. See? That's a bad Elon move. We were just talking about how if Elon had just remained Temu Tony Stark, who owned the cool electric car company and the rocket company and the digging company, right? And just not been Mr. Politics, he'd be so much, his companies would be better. Yeah. He would be better.
But he also attracted Trump with his ownership of X.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Like his money too, but I feel like
I think he could have seen
with Twitter.
All of these billionaires are juicing politicians. He could have done that and not tried to be the rock star while doing it.
But because he was contributing to his campaigning so much and, running the ops on Twitter.
Yeah. That's what did him in. Yeah. And there was another thing that fucked him up too, and people may not remember it, but I tell you what, dude, your overall memory of Elon remembers it. You remember when he pussed out of fighting Zuck?
Oh, yeah.
You remember when his mom forced him to back out of fighting Mark Zuckerberg, he should have just kept his mouth shut. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah. Like, you remember how cucked Zuckerberg was after Trump won? Like, getting rid of all the, like, community guidelines almost.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg did that big speech, like, we're gonna change how we do hate speech, and, we're gonna change the fact checking and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
he got to put Zuckerberg in his place with that.
Yeah, I guess, but still, what do people remember about it, though?
Yeah.
See, I think that if Elon was going to come out smelling like roses with this current tactic that he's taken over the last 5 years or so, he would have had to meet Zuckerberg, whoop Zuckerberg's ass, like just absolutely mollywop Zuckerberg, right?
Crushed him with his giant rib cage.
Crush him. Yeah. I think that's the turning point right there. I think if he pulled that off, there'd be way more people going like, Elon's fucking awesome. Elon for president. You know what I mean? I think that could have happened, maybe. So
Do you think the Cybertruck was another big turning point?
Yes.
He hadn't done the Cybertruck.
He should have never released that fucking thing to the general public. It wasn't ready. He thought it was the cool factor was going to outweigh the shit factor, and it didn't. People just pulled them apart and showed how they're glued together and shittily made, and they're constantly recalled for different fucking things. You know what I mean?
Like, if he had made it like a luxury just for people that are ultra wealthy and made each one as perfect as you can make a nightmare like that.
Right. Like, but even then, you know what I mean? Just keep it a prototype until you can make it roadworthy. You know what I mean? I feel like they probably could have got the Cybertruck to something like a release date, but he just didn't want to do it. He wanted to release it. Elon has a bloated HGH torso. His torso really is strange. It's like his rib cage. You know how your sternum is straight down and your ribs kind of out from here, right? Like, I feel like his rib cage is tilted like 30 degrees this way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like rib cage, but like all the way from up here. So like a full 30-degree tilt, and it just kind of goes. His shape is very strange. He's very strange shaped.
Do you think some of his girlfriend choices too?
Well, we were talking about that too, because like people, I think, forget Elon used to be pretty lefty.
Mm-hmm.
He was married to Grimes. Mm-hmm. He was like a green eco guy. The whole idea of Tesla was like, we have to save the world from fossil fuels. And, somebody had to do it. And I did it. You know what I mean? So he was like that. And it's just like in just the last 5 or 6 years, basically, he's remade himself as like a MAGA.
Well, I think the real question is, can you be a billionaire and not morph into that? Does being a billionaire inherently mean that you've turned to the dark side?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's kind of what we were talking about. I was like, that's why I feel like wealth needs to be curtailed, because I was saying, like, sitting here as normal people, anybody in the chat, if you had $1 billion, you'd be like, I'm set.
Yeah.
I got what I want. Mm-hmm. I can buy a few little vacation houses. I can travel the world.
Never have to work again.
Take care of my whole family and never have to work again. But for these Nepo babies that have this generational wealth, or people that just explode within the economic system as it is now, it's not enough. The power of being
10 billion, and then when they have 10 billion, they gotta have 100 billion.
Well, then it's like the power that because once you've got 10, 20 billion, the power that your dollar has on the planet has pretty much reached its limit. Yeah. Right? You can get whatever you want. Yeah. And you would think that's like that's enough power. No. That's the problem. They reach that point where their money is literally no object. Mm-hmm. Fucking Bezos has a yacht that has a yacht.
Yeah.
right? So then you want influence and political power. You want more. It's never enough. It's never enough. And if we don't stop it, it'll never be like Elon is just a symptom of the runaway out of control fucking wealth in this country. And it being concentrated ever more at a smaller group of people to the expense of working people, small business owners, self-employed people, contractors, blue-collar workers of all stripes, right? They picked your pocket to get that wealthy, and it's not enough.
Like, everyone in the chat could have $1 billion and it still wouldn't have as much as Elon.
Yeah. There's 111 people in here. If Elon gave $1 billion to all of us, he would still be 100 billionaire twice over. It wouldn't even really like affect his life at all. He could make us all billionaires as we sit here. And it's not enough to have that kind of power. It's not enough. He's got to be whispering in the president's ear and digging around in all of our institutions. And you think that's going to be enough? If you had $1 billion, you'd buy me. That's my price tag. See, here's the problem, though. You could purchase me with $1 billion, right? I would take that $1 billion, hire the best lawyer, get the contract nullified, and then use the $1 billion to persecute you until the end of time. Like, I would keep my lawyer on your ass about everything. I'd be just, you'd never get away. You'd never get away ever again. See what I mean? So it's like, you can't do that. Now think about this. You know, there's hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars that are locked up, right, by these Nepo baby billionaires, right? These crazy tech billionaires and these crazy fucking CEOs, right? Like, that's not, like, people think about money differently, right? People that are normal folks, people like you and I, right? People that don't have enough money to do whatever the fuck they want, right? We think about purchasing power, but that's not what money is. Money isn't purchasing power. We think about it incorrectly, right? Money is, from an economic perspective, a number that represents the amount of resources that you control, right? So those hundreds of billions of dollars locked up in Elon Musk's little fucking weirdo piggy bank, right, could rebuild America. Like, you could rebuild several American cities with that money, right? You could establish and fund a program that ended child poverty with that money, right? You could lift an entire fucking nation or two or three out of abject degradation and poverty. Are you starting to get the idea? You could end homelessness. Do you see what I'm saying? When you start to understand the result of having 10 people with like 80% of the wealth on the world functionally locked up, 80% of the world's resources functionally locked up, you end up with rotting inner cities, rotting roads, rotting infrastructure, whole cities where the water is bad, whole cities that get washed away because the fucking berms haven't been redone since the 1915s. Are you kidding me? Whole cities washed away by a hurricane and people just like eating each other, waiting for the fucking government to have any kind of response to it. Like, are people forgetting this shit? It's just fucking ludicrous to me. Yeah, it boils down to that pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and maybe one day I'll be Elon mentality that keeps people locked in to worshiping people like that. Like, you want to blame somebody for your town falling to utter ruin and your roads being potholes and your fucking infrastructure falling apart, crime being out of control, and all that. You want to blame somebody for locking up the wealth that would be required to address the underlying problems there? Point your finger at these techies. Elon, Bezos. Point your finger at these guys and ask why it is better that one person should have that much wealth locked up than for that wealth to be used to improve the lives of working people in this country and the world over. Make the argument to me. The robber barons are back. You guys understand what a robber baron is? We're talking Jay Gould. We're talking Rockefeller. We're talking Carnegie, right? These guys that owned the industry and the shipping and the point of sale. We're talking conglomerates. We're talking monopolies. It's back. And it's worse than it was then. The wealth gap is way beyond the wealth gap during the first Gilded Age. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. Someone's come along and it's burst our bubble. Hey, hey. Yeah, they traded out their top hats for Richard Mille watches and quiet luxury cars like the Lamborghini Urus, right? And they bought up all the houses and they bought up all the land. They bought up all your dreams. Your little dream of owning a little house, they bought that up, bitch. That's all owned by big ass conglomerate companies now. You don't get your hands on that shit unless you want to fucking cough up about $500,000 for an entry level house. You don't get it no more. They bought that dream right out from underneath your ass. You know how many fucking houses are sitting empty just because like they're owned by a big bank and they're looked at as like an investment? Meanwhile, homelessness exploding. It's like, you know, at some point people are going to have to fucking realize what's going on. Because if we don't, they'll put us all in the fucking poorhouse. You think you're protected because you own your own business? They'll loot you. They'll come for your property. They'll come for your comfort. They'll come for your stability. Just a matter of time. If you let them, they'll get their greasy fucking mitts on every bit of it. 17 empty domiciles for every homeless person in the country. Something's not working, guys. Something's not working. You'll own nothing, and you'll be happy. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is what happened to the robber barons. There was legislation breaking up the monopolies and forcing them to become individual separate countries, or companies, sorry. Companies like Microsoft need to be broken up. Elon's companies need to be broken up and individualized. All of these kind of like tech billionaires, Bezos, his entire fucking wealth needs to be broken up into separate fucking companies. Absolutely. That's how it was dealt with the last time. That's how it's going to have to be dealt with this time. Absolutely. Force these giant, monstrous companies that are swallowing up everything else to break up. Good luck getting any politician to move on that, bud. Yep. Regulatory capture, indeed. So that leaves the other way that the Gilded Age was dealt with. And this way isn't taught in history books. There was an absolute labor revolution at the end of the Gilded Age. A workers' revolution in the major fucking points of trade and industry in this country. You're not taught about it in school. Ruh-roh. Read Death in the Haymarket. Put you up on game. Plus they're stealing our data like crazy. Oh yeah. It's nightmare scenario level. So do you think an FDR could rise again? No. Not under the current system, no. Wasn't Facebook caught selling data to third parties? Facebook was caught doing a bunch of fucking shady shit, including selling data, allowing for the promotion of political, political positions from people outside of the United States. You know what I mean? Zuckerberg always looks like a fucking deer in the headlights. But yes, in court, he looked like a deer in the headlights. And he gave sheepish non-answers, and they let him walk out of there. So there's your regulatory arm. Space hotels, yeah, right? Space hotels 25 fucking years ago. Right. Last couple of years, he got some white boy swag makeover. Yeah, I've seen it. He got like a curly curly broccoli top, and like he wears like a gold chain, and he wears like muscle shirts now. And he still looks like a fucking dork. Damn. Your billions can't buy you out of dorkhood, bro. That's what I think is gonna kill this planet. Honestly. Because that's why these motherfuckers, it's never enough, because there's a pit inside of them. They grew up dorks. And god damn it, I've got $200 billion. So I can go out and get a Jufro and some Gumby gold chains and a Lambo and wear muscle shirts, and I'm gonna not be a dork. And as soon as you see him, you're just like, fucking dork. Right? Bezos. Right? I don't care what kind of hot Italian supermodel bitch you drape over that motherfucker. That's just a fucking. He looks like a vulture. He looks like a turkey that somebody plucked. Just a fucking nerd, right? And that's fine, but it's just like your billions can't buy you out of that, homie. Nobody can help you with that. It doesn't matter how many perms you get. It doesn't matter how much Botox you shoot into your face. You know? It doesn't matter how many pinstriped jets you buy. It doesn't matter how hard you party. How many Gumby gold chains you drape. How hard you flex your Lambo when you pull up at the fucking red carpet. When you step out of the Lambo, a nerd steps out, dude. A dork. And there's no amount of money that can buy you out of that, bro. And that's gonna ruin the world. Elon. Just like, once again, he almost looks bird-like with that chest all out there. I don't care how many billions you accumulate, bro. You're a fucking dork. Own it. The woke mind virus. He is built like a plucked turkey. So is Bezos. Trump too. Trump looks like a centaur that had the back half of him removed. Had like the back horse part removed. He's built like a centaur. At some point, gravity is going to pull that over. Because he doesn't have that back half of the horse. At some point, he's just going to, and that'll be that. Then we'll be, President Guyliner. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm thinking not good. Whatever happened to human misery being dealt with by badass dudes like Genghis Khan? I don't know, dude. I don't know. The nerds won, man. The dorks won the battle. Genghis and Alexander the Great and all these other fucking, warrior chads that used to be the scumbags that brought war and famine and privation to people, Like, they won the battle. But the fucking dorks won the war, dude. Now they got laser beams and sonic weapons and drones and nuke missile silos, and they got everything. They got their fingers in every pie. There's and the big muscle head dudes, they feel cheated. The big muscly conqueror guys, they ain't got nothing to do now but to like lift weights in a gym and run around. It's like a caged tiger, you know? And the dorks are like, quiet down. Quiet down your heavy breathing. The world is run amok. That subsonic crowd weapon footage. Yeah. Let me go grab my phone and I'll see if I can find
I'll
that.
go get it.
Oh, it's it.
I saw it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see if I can bring that up. That shit was wild. Is this capitalist age just the revenge of the nerds? the dork revenge. Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can find this shit. I feel like a sonic weapon. Serbia. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to like flip my phone. We'll crank it up. And not that you can really like hear anything, but let's see. Yeah, it kind of sucks because it's. Well, maybe I can do it this way. Can I? No. I hate these like. Okay, let me see if I can find a better one. There we go.
Did Serbia use illegal sonic weapons during a peaceful...
Illegal? I don't know if they're illegal. Let's see. Yeah, I just don't. I want to find somebody that.
Now, Serbia's President Aleksandar Vučić is denying claims that his police used a sonic weapon to disperse protesters at a rally in Belgrade. Footage of the alleged incident has been circulating on social media. Witnesses report hearing a sudden piercing noise, causing crowds to scatter in panic. Opposition groups and activists claim it originated from a sonic weapon. DW is unable to verify those claims. The prohibited device admits a burst of incredibly loud sound to temporarily incapacitate people. Now, Serbia has been gripped by months of protests, triggered by the collapse of a train station roof in the city of Novi Sad.
There you go. And it's not necessarily meant to. The one that, if it's the one that I've read about before, it's not. The one that was used there is not meant to incapacitate people. It's meant to trigger your flight. It's meant to literally make your whole body try to get out of the area because you can't.
Almost like your reaction if it's like super cold.
You can't plug your ears against it. It's a sound wave that you can see, like how people scattered like in a column, starting closer to where the weapon was and then out. So they use them in the US, LRADs, yeah. The brown noise, yeah.
Yeah, that one, I think there's less evidence for brown noise.
The brown note. Ugh. Oh no.
I think they've been able to actually find that.
Oh, when they do, Lord help us all.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to all start wearing diapers. Nah, the mass protest movement that I feel like is coming in the next 20 years is gonna face some wild shit. It's no longer just hillbilly Jim with a beaten stick. You know what I mean? Not to undermine, the opposition that the civil rights movement faced, but like These dudes, like, the police have militarized since then. So we're going to be facing literal urban combat type of shit. And it's going to be fucked. I can whistle the brown note so no one can touch me. Damn. Neat. Sometimes I feel like the powers that be are sociopaths that like to put pressure on us, pit us against each other, and make us squirm for their entertainment. Well, there's definitely some of that going on, but I don't know how that changes, you know what I mean, our lot. Anyway, I gotta go. I got shit to do. And I'll see you guys later.